Hey, what is going on, fellow truth lovers? Lovers! Starting off horribly. And welcome back to some more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Okay, so we're back to Briar Road. Scene of the crime. Looks as though the police are still here carrying on with their investigation.
Perfect, so let's find the inspector as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. There he is. Okay, so we just present, I guess. Yeah. We should probably examine that. Inspector, do you have a moment? I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure. What the hell is a gadabout?
We have these for you. A present.
What? For me? From her ladyship? Her ladyship? Give that here, at once. Come on, hand it over. That's for me. Ah! Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? Damn, he snatched it. Rude copper. What was that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's an appearance fee, that's what it is.
An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean...
Oh, yo. Man's getting royalties, yeah. That's right, for the book. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me, every time. But how much is that worth? Is that just like a quid?
Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly.
Course, her using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I'm sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you. What is this eternal cod he's eating? Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then, eh? Sorry? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know? Oh, yo. Is that another round of new questions? Nah, potentially part of the old... Well, not cutscene, but conversation, I guess you call it.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of his lodgings.
Aha. Ah, the little knife-wielding moustache Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel. It's just over there, look. What? We could have just looked left. On the first floor of that house on the corner there where that wreck of a bicycle's popped up. Or propped up, I should say.
That is nearby indeed.
Damn, he didn't run very far to get home. If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John... Garideb. Right, well, if you see her again, you make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now then, and long live her ladyship. Only because it keeps the bucks rolling in. Hell yeah.
Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left.
Yeah. So then, should we go see what we can find in his lodgings?
Definitely.
Okay, so I guess we could just move now, right? Yeah. Get in there. New area. Good stuff. I just want to get in the courtroom. Wondering what episode this is off the top of my head. Is it like 42 or something? So who knows? We may get to the old episode 60, the rate this is going. Seems to be about 10 to 15 eps a gimmick. A case, I should say. What? No, not another girl. May I help you? Ah, yes. Would this be the residence of... him?
Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling? He's representing him. I believe he takes lodgings here. We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client.
Why is she so sad? Such giant cheeks.
One moment, please. I shall convey the message to him.
Good stuff. What's that on the floor? Just beneath that blue, whatever you call that. Like a partition? Damn, what did that say? Did you see that? That was a real-life English maid.
I know. As I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better.
Damn. She's easily pleased. It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it?
We need only to meet a butler and the experience will be complete.
Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Here we go.
Thank you for waiting. He will see you now. This way.
Who? Move? No. Guess we've got to do some examining. Who is this guy? What? We could have looked to the right. Good day to you. John Garrideb at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. He's a defence lawyer.
Do excuse me not getting up. I don't care. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maywand, don't you know? Earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So, he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and downstairs now, I can tell you. Don't get out much, as you can imagine. Yeah, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
You really must take more exercise.
Do you think so? Gotta hit that yoga, bro.
Well, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend a general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. What? Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these good people see it properly. Hey, more tea. Yes, please. Joan, fetch the... Ah! Dash it all, woman, be careful!
Oh, dearie me, I do beg your pardon, sir.
You jolly nearly took the skin off my hands.
I shall be more careful, sir.
So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs. Is that right?
Yes, we would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
Only too pleased, naturally, especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. What? Stirs his tea with a pipe? We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Even had some famous detective poking around, you know. In this old house, would you believe?
Yes!
Huh. Could have been him. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. Damn, but we're mini detectives.
Oh, but you have a copy of Rant's magazine here, so...
No.
Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak.
So, he's in his room. It's a bally nuisance is what it is. The whole neighbourhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling. Okay, if we back up... And then, yeah. Oh, yo, smashed? Lucky we looked. Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it?
Oh my, a genuine London dresser. Isn't it delightful? Although the shelves seem to be broken and the crockery is... Oh dear, it's in pieces.
And what about the cakes? It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that chinaware justice.
Ah, I wonder. Perhaps the cannon was fired at it.
Yeah, probably something like that. But let's not delve too deeply here. Okay. Show me the cakes.
Oh, look. What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand.
Lined up? It looks more like someone has half demolished them to me.
Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It is quite the English way. It's his custom to take 2 cakes of his tea.
Damn, sweet custom.
That sounds delightful.
Oh, wait a minute though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand.
Well, naturally, and it would never do to waste the leftovers.
Damn, she eats all the cake.
So whatever he doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up.
How magnanimous of you. What is it? I don't want to dress her. No! You can't just select the gimmick?
Look at that enormous screen.
Ah, yeah, that's another word for it.
It must have been put there deliberately, surely.
Yeah, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could be behind it, I wonder?
I'm going to have a very quick look, just a little peek. Ahem, ahem.
Maybe let's not. I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea.
Ahem.
Okay, maybe we'll just, yeah, he did say to look at the medal. Maybe that's a clue of sorts.
That looks like a Medal of Honour and it's showcased on a very grand banner.
Yeah, it's displayed with some pride, I'd say. Although it bothers me that it's not straight. What? That old thing? Sorry? I should be glad to see the back of it, but the General would turn in his grave if I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it. Keeps the bally thing out of my way. So it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose.
There appears to be an inscription on the medal itself. Look. Let me see. It says, for distinguished participation.
Sounds like the kind of honours even I could be in line for. Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Oh, is it just a participation trophy? What? Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in military circles. Right, back to the chat, I guess. Examine... Nah. Wonder can we talk to her? Yeah, it's probably sort of a joint convo, right?
Please, do tell us.
Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week. Oh, just 1 week? So he moved in very recently then. I have 2 lodges most of the time, one on the ground floor and one just below us. The first floor room became available a week ago, you see. There'd been... Ah! Dash it all, Joan, do be careful!
Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir.
Damn. Is she just pouring tea with her eyes closed?
If you want to know my opinion...
Such wobbly cheeks!
I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. Oh? Why? He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything.
What? So egotistical. We won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Yes, oh yes, indeed there was.
And she's dying to tell us. The Shady Lodger. We should also be presenting a load of stuff. That may open a few conversation loops. But let's just kind of wait until we run into a dead end first, I guess. Had you noticed anything else at all about your lodger? Actually, no, let's not wait until we hit a dead end. Otherwise we'll have like 12 items and 15 people to talk to. And that's going to be long sitting through all that. So we'll just mash it all through as we go. Just empty the pockets, look at all of this. That do anything for you? Did we miss anything? No.
Oh my word, yes. That man was shadier than an orchard.
Hey, that's an interesting one.
Could you elaborate?
Wobble.
Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is. More than anyone could ever read.
Hey, that's not my room. Nothing wrong with that.
And he never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call.
Damn, that's a bit hardcore.
He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too.
Oh, I see.
The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night, but I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning.
Hey, so he's got a weird sleep pattern. Nothing wrong with that.
Could you clarify something, I wonder?
And hey, if he's only just come over from Japan a week ago, the body clock might be on some insane time difference. You never know.
What, pray? How do you know so much about his routine?
Yeah, good point. She's just staring at their windows for when they turn the light off or something.
Oh!
Caught ya.
I'd understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house. Is that correct?
That's right, yes. They're both below us, on the first floor and street level. What? He's starting to sweat too. And she's wobbling like crazy.
Slap. Then, how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers?
Bling.
The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example. Even the times they go to bed.
Here we go. It's time for a big old excuse. Ah! Good grief, Joan! Be more careful, woman!
Oh my goodness, sir! I'm terribly sorry, sir!
Something doesn't add up here. Oh, so just didn't even answer the question. Just threw hot tea on his crotch. That's awful. Distraction done. It seems like the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window at around that time? Ah, and she did say he comes back from the bookshop at about 5, right? The window?
Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street.
Oh yeah, perfect viewpoint.
Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time in this household, so I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan?
No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road.
Oh, I see.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then?
Such as?
Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated.
Well. Yeah, was there something then? Well, it's nothing particular significant, but around that sort of time there was... For the love of God, Joan, watch what you're doing!
Oh, dearie me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir.
Do be more careful, woman!
Of course, sir.
Wouldn't you just scream at her? That's enough fucking tea for now. Piss off!
If I may.
Oh, yes?
I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far as I can remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all.
Oh, really? What about you? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been. Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of... Joan, dash it all! What is the matter with you, woman?
Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened.
What? Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan?
That's right.
What? What is the matter with these two?
It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident, but what?
I wish I knew. Okay. Secret fourth option, let's go. Could you tell us which floor his room's on? Why, certainly, just below us on the first floor.
And he's investigating there even as we speak?
Oh, she's about to start fangirling. Yes, told me that's his name and asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
He's engaged his services?
That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around? In his room, I mean. Please say yes, please say yes. Here we go. Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with the case, but we have to try. Oh yeah, we've only got like less than 24 hours till we're in court, right? We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we?
Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more.
Okay, so now we... I don't think we can present. No, good stuff. So at least that eliminates that option. Yeah, to his room. Let's go. God damn, that's a lot of books. Hey, he's got that cat with the paw waves. I don't know what that's called. I see it so much over the years. Isn't it usually golden? Why? Just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountains of old books that are responsible for that. Is that a cat? I was looking at the fake one on the left. I just saw the one that's moving just, well, to the right of her left arm.
I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life.
No, me neither. Damn, he's got more books than the library. It's so dark in here too. A brick wall for a window?
Is that the window over there?
Well, it was the window, I think, yes, once upon a time. But for some reason it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. Damn. Did that guy have rickets? I suppose he's only been there a week. So this is where he lives.
By the way, I haven't spotted him anywhere, have you?
He's probably hiding underneath a mountain of books somewhere. No, that's true, but according to what he told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. Nice. What is it? What? But it looks so investigatable. Okay. Meow. Yeah, he did it. Is he under there?
Oh my, what an adorable little cat. Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away.
I don't know about that. He disappeared into that pile of books as quick as a flash. And who's feeding this cat? The guy's in prison. It was a tricolour Mike, was it? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain?
Perhaps he brought the little creature with him from Japan.
Hey, just like that case on the boat. Case 2, I think. That's made me homesick now.
Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days.
You baby! Sure. Let's have a look-see here on the desk.
That desk seems to be wedged into a crevasse between the mountains of books on either side.
I suppose he'd sit there and read while stroking his cat, but surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well. Nope, wrong button.
Yes, he must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from a second-hand bookshop. Your Books.
Oh yes, his name's on it, look. And the date of purchase? 2 days ago at 4:45. That's the day of the incident.
That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books.
Depending on how far the bookshop is away, if he finished up there at 4:45, that could potentially place him at the scene of crime, the crime, at 5. Okay, new evidence. What's in the bag? Nothing. What? Secondary cat.
Oh look, it's a beckoning cat from home.
It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely he didn't bring that Maneki Neko. Is that what they're called? Nice. Question immediately answered. All the way from Japan with him.
I hardly think you're in a position to comment. Are you forgetting the enormous Daruma doll that you brought in your luggage?
Well, it can be dangerous travelling abroad. I wanted a lucky charm. Just use the sword, mate.
Well, I imagine he wanted the same, and this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him.
It's not doing a very good job so far, is it?
You mustn't say such things.
I didn't say a word. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? Okay. Looks like we can only really examine these two book piles. Look at all these books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling.
They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty.
With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you?
No, what a dreamy idea.
A bad dream, maybe. For me, at least. Hell no, books are awesome. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of this pile now will ever be read again. Good shout. Gotta rotate the supply.
Ah, so reading is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us.
I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. Okay. Unless they're fake bricks and the detective is behind that. Look at all these books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling. Again. The same gimmick. Nice. At least we don't have to tweeze it. Well, technically we are, but we got the mash. Could you even call this a window?
I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although all that remains is a frame around some bricks now.
So really it's just a wall then, isn't it? But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that?
I'm afraid I have no idea. Ah! Perhaps he painted brick design on in a fit of whimsy.
That's alarmingly feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive. Yeah, he's probably just painting the window while screaming perfect precision, power, piston, paint.
It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely trying.
What else can we examine? Ah, the paper. Look at all these balls of paper on the floor. There are notes scrawled all over them in English. It looks like the waste paper basket is so full they've just fallen out.
I think he must have been deeply immersed in his research, don't you?
Or deeply averse to tidying up his mess.
I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth.
Alright. I think we've done everything, unfortunately. Oh, yo. One thing remains. This appears to be some sort of meter on the wall here. It looks very robust. I wonder what it's for. There's a slot for inserting coins here too. Put a coin in, love, quick.
Ah, I believe that's a gas meter.
A gas meter?
Yes, it seems like there is piped gas in this district, which consumers pay for by putting coins in the meter.
So, if we were to put a coin in the slot...
that would be enough gas to use the lights and the gas fire for the whole night.
So, if you're too poor to have a coin, you'd have to spend the night in the dark and freezing cold. Damn. Spent all his money on books and candles.
That's right, as would a rich man who only carried crisp white notes.
That'd be awful. I'm rich, but I've only got thousands of notes. I'm freezing. Ugh, London's a scary place. Yeah, I reckon that's our lot, guys. But what on earth could we do now in here? Nothing, I don't think. Just gotta move. Maybe back here? We'll try it. Damn. Then we go back to... yeah, maybe Sholmes went home. That's probably why he wasn't there, right? Shit. Okay. Yeah, potentially prison. Hey, this looks promising. Right, guys, we'll leave it there, but we are going back to the prison by the looks of it. We'll ask a few more questions to this strange screaming lad and see how we get on next time. So, of course, the only thing that remains to say is, if you like the looks of any of the suggested videos flooding your screen right now, then check some of them out, and more importantly, let me know what you thought. Feedback is always delicious. If you've missed any of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles adventure, then catch up, because you're going to need to know as much as I do for the courtroom that lies ahead. But the main thing, guys, as always, I hope you're well. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.